Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about Alien Covenant, a movie that came out back in 2017 and directed by Ridley Scott. And in Alien Covenant, it deals with this group of astronauts who are transporting colonists to another world when they end up getting sidetracked and have to land on another planet, and they end up encountering pretty much Xenomorphs. And I think we all know where this is going to go from then on. Xenomorph attacks, and they have to get out. Okay, so to get things started, there's not a lot I like about this movie. However, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I did, in fact, like about this film. First of all, the visuals are nice. Dariusz Wolski is a good cinematographer. He's not the best. We all know, Roger Deakins is the best. However, Wolski is good, and, he does bring his A game to this film. There's some really good cinematography, camera work, lighting to complement it, all that kind of stuff. And for the most part, the special effects are good. I will admit there is one scene where you notice a green screen, but that's the only green screen scene where you notice that. All the other green screen effects are actually well developed and well composited. It's just that one that you notice. But other than that, the only bad effect in the movie is the CGI alien. That's about it. Why? Also, the acting is pretty decent. Everyone's, trying their best, despite the fact that these are not very well developed characters at all, which is very unfortunate. However, the actors, they're doing their best, despite the limited resources they have. And lastly, the execution, they at least try. They at least try to develop real horror. It's not very effective, but they at least try to build suspense and tension and all that kind of stuff. Which, of course, unlike with AVP Requiem and Alien Resurrection, when the gore does happen, does show, you can tell they're trying to use it as an effect instead of, just being gory for the sake of being gory. However, despite their best efforts, the whole suspense and tension elements just aren't very effective. But at least they tried, and I'll give them props for that. Just won't give them a lot of points. Now on to the stuff to gripe about. The story, it's very run-of-the-mill. It's not very original. And the whole explanation for them being on that planet is just stupid. Now, I understand that they ran into some issues, technical ones, but if it was like a colony and they just simply landed there to get supplies and they didn't realize that there was a xenomorph outbreak on there, that would have been an entirely different story. But no, why do they land on this planet? Because someone heard a transmission from there of a John Denver song. They literally land there because they heard a transmission of someone singing "Take Me Home Country Road." That is just incredibly dumb. When something like that happens, the smart thing to do is just simply report it to HQ or something like that. But instead they decide, hey, let's go here and land. No. And like I said, the CGI on the alien is really bad. And unfortunately, there is no practical guy in a suit with the alien in this film. There isn't. It was just a guy on stilts in a motion capture suit. That is it. So unfortunately, because the alien is completely CGI, and you can tell it's CGI, the thing's just not as menacing as it was before. To make matters worse, they even have it out in broad daylight. No thanks. The thing that bothered me the most about this movie is the fact that it breaks established alien lore. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to recommend people who have not seen this movie but want to skip to this point in the video. Because this is a huge spoiler. And while honestly it's not worth it, if you guys insist on watching this movie but haven't, yeah, skip ahead to this point. So the whole lore breaking thing with this is the fact that they had David be the creator of the Xenomorph. Yes, the David android from Prometheus is apparently the creator of the Xenomorphs. There's a lot of problems with that. Because first of all, it was established in the first Alien, which takes place not even 30 years after this movie, at the ship, that a lot of the things that they found on the ship was fossilized. Which means that thing had been there for millions of years. Which means those eggs on the ship were millions of years old. And somehow not fossilized. While I genuinely, was interested in hearing about the creation of the Xenomorph, I was expecting it to be, them finding things out long after it happened, because it just would have made more sense. But instead, no. David created the Xenomorphs, even though people have fought them in Antarctica and somehow in Colorado. That was just ridiculous. We had already encountered them by this point, and also, again, there were things on that ship that were fossilized, including one of those engineer suits that had an alien busted out of it. And now that I'm done with that, let's get into some of the other stuff about the movie. Another thing that bugged me is the fact that the main character, they tried to make her Ellen Ripley 2.0, but she just wasn't. Elizabeth Shaw in Prometheus, she was a good character, but she wasn't a Ripley clone the way that whoever the heck this girl is clearly a Ripley clone. And even though the actress does her best, it doesn't help that her character's poorly written. And it's really like that with all the actors in the movie, including this one guy who's now in prison. They're doing their best, however, their characters are just not developed well. So guys, at the end of the day, Alien Covenant, it's a bad movie. From a visual standpoint, the movie looks nice. The actors were at least trying. I'll give them that. And they were at least trying to execute horror. The thing is that this movie's, whole narrative is an act of stupidity. They make a lot of mistakes with the alien, like having it out in broad daylight, and also, just using CGI on it. That doesn't even look good. They broke alien lore, and also the characters are just not well developed. I'm going to give Alien Covenant a 3. Well, that's the end of my Alien Marathon. Alien Romulus is coming out next week. Hopefully that's good. I don't know if it will be or not, but we'll wait and see. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Baditsky will return.